I'll open the text first.
English.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, 256a.
Yeah. Yeah. So I read, I
Yes.
try to recite. When they are in bed, the lover's undisciplined horse has a word to say to the charioteer, that after all its suffering, it is entitled to a little fun. Meanwhile, the boy's bed horse has nothing to say, but swelling with desire, confused, it hugs the lover and kisses him in delight at his great goodwill. And whenever they are lying together, it is completely unable for its own part to deny the lover any favor he might beg to have. Its yoke-mate, however, along with its charioteer, resists such requests with modesty and reason.
I think now let's stop here because it's very dense, the text.
Yeah. Has the same, returning to the same metaphor of the charioteer and the horses, and it's the undisciplined horse that has that is up at this moment, but
Heidi, can you explain a little bit the three party of the soul? What do you think of this?
As we explained, as we learned from the previous chapter,
and also in general,
the lovers, for the metaphor, the charioteer is reason. Is the reason, and undisciplined horse means sex or erotic love, or not erotic love.
Or desire, in fact, right?
Desire.
Because love is three in a whole, right? Not only that part.
Yeah, desire.
And how about the second part?
The second. I'm a bit. I don't understand why the undisciplined horde of the boy has nothing to say at this moment. That I haven't understood. So, do you understand this? Whenever. Has nothing to say, but swelling with goodwill. Swelling with desire, confused. Okay, has nothing to say, but it's reacting. It's a bit. Why does he say it has nothing to say? So I'm a bit. The boy's bed horse has nothing to say.
A good question, Heidi. You have an answer ready?
I think the desire is infectious. The desire can be transmitted from one person to another. Maybe the desire is transferred to the bed horse, and the bed horse swelling the desire.
I think here, maybe we can consider like this. This is a very special situation. So the lover is older, and the beloved is young, and so maybe 13 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's we have to have in mind that. Bear in mind that there is a very special situation we don't. Know from everyday life, but we know from books from about Greece. But okay,
So in this situation, then when the older man approached the boy, so the boy is what's wrong with this guy, right?
Yeah.
He cannot have in the first place erotic, attractive. It was not attractive by the old man.
Yeah.
And this is the old in the situation, but in general, I think it's a lover and a beloved. So someone is approaching, he's the lover, and the other guy is approached. So who's maybe at the first glance does not have any like.
Yeah, I think that's a very good explanation. Yeah, yeah, but yeah.
So it's there at the beginning of the development.
Yes.
And in fact, Heidi, the most interesting part of the three party is the second one. So here we have like a good horse, right? So basically, that's part is the most vague one in this three party. So I think the bad horse as a desire and the charity as a reason, we can understand that. But why? So if that were two party of the soul, it's simple, right? But why we have the second part? That's usually a very, very interesting question. And sometimes Plato also speak of two parts only. Sometimes somewhere like here he speaks three parts. And then basically in the Republic, the book Republic, he explains the second part as spiritual, who stands for courage and anger, and the third part of appetitive, of desire. So here is a little bit different. The second horses kind of like he also drives the soul forward, but in a good nature. So in this erotic love, the first is I think he can also drive the soul forward, and also the horse maybe also have wings, so that's important. But at the same time, he's kind of like more, let's say that, brav, right?
Yeah, no, not reasonable. Yeah, it's
It's just listening to what the charioteers says.
Yeah. Compliant to the charioteer's will and not stubborn. Yeah. I don't know how to say.
Just like a very good worker in the team.
Yeah. Yes. Good worker in the team. Yeah. Uncomplicated, maybe, or some, but
so that any further comments or question about this passage? I will open it again.
Continue. Yeah.
If not, then we continue, and please read it.
So we had modesty and reason. So now if the victory goes to the better elements in both their minds, which lead them to follow the assigned regimen of philosophy, their life here below is one of bliss and shared understanding. They are modest and fully in control of themselves, now that they have enslaved the part that brought trouble into the soul and set free the part that gave it virtue. Yeah, okay. So after death, when they have grown wings and become weightless, they have won the first of 3 rounds in these, the true Olympic contests. The true Olympic contests, in the contest of the soul in
to become good.
To become, yeah. 3 rounds, they have. Okay. So there is no greater good than this, that either human self-control or divine madness can offer a man.
I think that's a unit for us.
Yeah. In one, when there is one.
Yes. Any question about this part?
Or comment? Better elements in both their minds. So
I remember there is a speech in Jacques Lacan, the French psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan. The erotic love is kind of desire as lack of something. It's like a hole in the soul. So
yes.
put something inside.
There was a connection problem.
Ali, we missed you like in 1 minute or something from Lacan. Then
you said Lacan, and then it's
Lacan said desire as lack. It seems like the desire is something like a hole in the soul, and it's lack of something. It's not in wholeness, and the soul just put something inside the hole. So the desire, erotic desire, as a kind of lack.
I think, yeah, go ahead.
I also think, remember a saying of 酒神和日神. Maybe in English is Apollonian and Dionysian. The Dionysian, it has some connection with the desire, with enjoying the sex, and the Apollonian. Apollonian is more connected with the reason. So
you speak of Dionysus and Apollo. Yeah, okay. So just for understanding from me, that's funny. What the thing makes.
Here, Hali.
Yes.
The first is you said love is a lack of something, or love is wanting of something. I think better words. That's in fact the definition of eros in the symposium. But eros is wanting of the good and forever. So then eros or love in fact is the want of the good if you don't have the good, or if you already have it, so you want to have it forever. So that's the definition, in fact, Plato's definition of love in another book, Symposium. So I think Lacan's also still in this tradition. And he just maybe I didn't read his book, but I think then we don't need to go to him for help, because in fact in Plato that's already there. And the second is I think what you said very interesting is the Dionysus and Apollon. And here then we have the soul have 3 parties, so that's a little bit difficult to put this in that model. But I think the exact following here we have 2 kind of like states of love. So the first state is if in love the goal of life is philosophy, and then maybe we can call it Apollonian life, and that's the highest. And the second one we will read exactly afterwards is another also not bad art of life, which is in love, but the love didn't reorient the life into philosophy. So that's a second one. For Plato, it's also very good. But like, for example, compared to these non-lovers, it's much better because you already had love, but this love somehow didn't orient itself into philosophy. That's maybe we can call it Dionysian. But that's only, I don't know in how far this could be in the end plausible, but I think I interpret what you said in the framework of this book like this.
Yes, and these love, different kind of love, has some conflicts inside. Maybe I love, for me, for example, I love a girl, and I think she's my soulmate. But I also want to have sex with her. So in Plato's idea, this this philosophical oriented love should be reason, should be different from the desire, right? And yeah, and I think in Plato's context, this old man has a desire in other way, maybe with his wife. So he only left the soulmate with the young boy. He didn't have sex with the young boy because he has fulfilled his desire in other ways.
Okay.
I don't know, because I think with a wife in this context is, maybe there is desire or not, but it doesn't matter because it's oriented on having children, marriage, and just a very practical way, maybe, I don't know, having successors and having, I don't know, if they...
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
Ali, I think what you are saying is, I think in this part, what we have read, this philosophical, love, does it include sex or not? The first question. So here, maybe we can interpret in two ways, right? So they are now in a very good love, so they have sex, and they also talk about philosophy. That's one interpretation. And the other interpretation is they only talk about philosophy but never have sex.
I think it would include both. I don't know. My guess, but yeah.
I also interpret it this way. So Plato, it seems for him not a big deal. At least he does not say, okay, we should exclude sex, and even the very important for me, because it's the first step, right? It's defines the depth and the intensity of this love or relationship. So it seems to me that he does not include the sex in the way. So the two, like Dionysius, in Heile's word, the Dionysian way and the Dionysian way and the Apollonian way, the difference is only why the philosophy is involved, not why the sex is excluded.
Maybe, yeah.
That's the first, I think, highly, but this is a central question in this passage of understanding Platonic love. And the second one is also very important, like why the Platon's understanding of love is exclusive. Like, does he means you can only love one person or love several? How about this? So a young boy and a wife, maybe he can love both, or right?
Yes. The text didn't mention clearly whether this love, philosophical love, is exclusive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't mention. Yeah, I'm
a little bit. I think the first he said, the gods don't have envy, right? They are good, so they are not what's that in
envious or
envious.
jealous? I don't know. No.
Yes. So it seems that then no problem, right? At least from this interpretation. And the second, Plato also thinks that this kind of love, like a young and old man, is not last very long, so they were apart, and so on and so forth. And the second question, what we have in mind is, I think, I explained a little bit. Claire, you could be there, but Heidi definitely not. So like the background of this Athenian society. So they are very rich, they're very highly developed society and with very high culture, but unfortunately only between men. So their women were depressed and they usually don't have education, and they even usually don't allowed to leave the house uncompanioned. So, which makes the first the relationship between the marriage is usually very, as you say, functional.
Yeah.
And also the man, even if you want to get to know some women, they don't have the access because the women just stay at home.
Yeah.
So then usually they will have a double life on also the highest sky classes, usually aristocratic families. Then they will have a huge house and the possibility to meet other young boys. And not so that's firstly, then that would be a soulmate in a sense, because these aristocratic young boys usually also were educated. And the second is then they have the places to like separate their female folks and then have this place to sleep with those young boys. So here then first they could explain, they could both be possible, like a wife at home and a young boy here, even with several boys. But the most important part is kind of like to philosophical discourse. And I joked, in fact, with Haili, I think 1 year ago, or even like we talked about why people just want to get richer and a lot of money or a high position, but why they never compete for like the truth, the beauty, yeah, and the good. So here Plato just says this competition for the virtue are the true Olympic context. I like this idea.
Yes.
Really.
This is the contest of the soul to win the contest and go to the heaven or go back to paradise, go to the heaven.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, be set free, winged in in this mythical
I like this metaphor, like growing wings. In the last text, in last class, we talked about these details of growing wings, and it will have pain. It have pains, and something grow out from the back. It's very detailed growing wings, and I think this wing is a tools. You can use these tools to fly. And by living a philosophical life, it is a practice of using or growing the wings. So, yeah, it's a good metaphor.
Philosophical is growing the wings and also, in fact, love, right? Love
Yes,
and
yes.
eros and pitos. It says wind and eros. It's
yes.
try to understand it very closely. And then you have wins and to compete, to contest. That's a true Olympic complex.
And I think there is a difference, a big difference between Plato's philosophical life and our current academy of philosophy. Our current academy, the schools, the graduate schools of philosophy, it's more about analytical, more about the logos. But in Plato here, the philosophical life, it's related with both logos and eros. It's the logos is not divided apart with eros, not not only analytical but also with emotional, with some intuition, with some metaphor, with a great worldview, like the soul go back to the heaven. But now in academy, in our philosophy schools, it's more like a analytical and scientific, more only with logos.
Claire, you have something to say?
At the moment, I don't know about. I'm not so erudite with
philosophy.
Philosophy in general. Yeah, maybe some ideas, but not. So I can't say if there is how is the current. Yeah, I think it depends on the university.
I think you touched the core of this text, and also especially symposium. Maybe later you can read a symposium too. So basically, you are saying is today in the academy, philosophy only have the part Sophia, but the part philo is gone. Philo is love, and
Philo, yeah.
And philo is in fact I love, means Sophia is wisdom. So you basically say for Plato, he wants to like he was the reason why Plato emphasizes eros or love is because he wants to distinct himself with the sophists. Sophists just means the wise man. So literally, and in the case that he's a love of wisdom, but not only somebody who has a lot of technique to argue and who can figure out the meanings of one or two important words in a very elegant way or something like that. And this is firstly the theme of symposium, of course, but also a huge subject like lurking behind Phaedrus, because Phaedrus is a book about eros. That's fine, but the second big part is about rhetoric, about dialectic, which is exactly related to what you said. So academic philosophy or like one kind of technical discourses, which is also important, but should not be the only part of philosophy.
Yes. Thank you.
We
Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah.
So if on the other hand they adopt a lower way of living with ambition in place of philosophy, then pretty soon, when they are careless because they have been drinking or for some other reason, the pair's undisciplined horses will catch their souls off guard and together bring them to commit that act which ordinary people would take to be the happiest choice of all. And when they have consummated it once, they go on doing this for the rest of their lives, but sparingly, since they have not approved of what they are doing with their whole minds. So these two also live in mutual friendship, though weaker than that of the philosophical pair, both while they are in love and after they pass beyond it, because they realize they have exchanged such firm vows that it would be forbidden for them ever to break them and become enemies. Yeah, they also live in mutual, because in death, they are wingless when they leave the body, but their wings are bursting to sprout, so the prize they have won from the madness of love is considerable, because those who have begun the sacred journey in lower heaven may not be by law be sent into darkness for the journey under the earth. Their lives are bright and happy as they travel together, and thanks to their love, they will grow wings together when the time comes. So, okay.
Yeah.
They have, talking about the non-philosophical way, but they have one something, and maybe, they have one friendship and,
Exactly. So my question is, what's the differences between these two loves? So now we have the description of them both, right? And so what's the differences between them? Which are they?
First, I think first the difference between these two is after death, is the situation after death. The first one after death will grow wings immediately and became whiteless, will fly to heaven, and they win the three rounds in the true Olympic contest. And the second one, the after death, they do not grow, they do not have the wings, but they will have wings afterwards. The text said their wings are bursting to sprout.
So they maybe have the possibility to grow wings later, right?
Or we can say they are close to get the wings, and they are not going downward to descend into the 冥界地狱 how to say to descend descend into darkness. They also have the possibility or have the train to ascending, but it's slower, or it will have more time to prepare.
So
more steps, yes.
Any other differences? I think this one is definitely true.
Maybe another difference is about how much they are awakened, or how much they are enlightened or philosophical oriented. The first one is fully awakened, fully philosophical enlightenment, and the second one only partly enlightenment, only partly awakened.
You mean partly awakened, or not at all awakened in philosophical way?
Maybe
do we have
partly
evidence for that?
With ambition in place of philosophy, then pretty.
Yeah. So rather no philosophy, right? So
maybe
I think
only glimpses, but maybe they have later also. They can. They are not lost to philosophy. They have not.
Highly, I would say, like in Plato's view, this first one also not fully philosophical in that, because according to basically to his idea, then that would be God, right? So maybe philosophical is only you don't need it to be so high. So we still have hope, right? Otherwise, when it's so high, then too high. I think that's good differences. Still any other differences? So one is kind of like the goal is philosophy, the other goal is like ambition.
Yes, yes.
And some places says their love or mutual friendship, and friendship is philia, comes from philo, and here like philo, and eros stands in romantic love. So they use it, a lot of times Plato uses these two words interchangeably. So here I think this a third difference could be that their love, the first part have a little bit stronger love, and the second kind of is a little bit weaker, right?
Yes, but they talk about that the erotic love ends, and there is something that stays with this.
Good.
They have exchanged such firm vows that it would be forbidden for them ever to break them and become enemies. So they stay connected, but maybe not in erotic love, but they have one. Yeah, they have one from the madness of love. They have love, the connection, the friendship, I don't know.
Left, right, yeah. And as I would say, there's another difference could be in two cases, both like the undisciplined horse has more to say, right? In the second one.
Yes.
Or even a little bit dominant. Right. Yeah. And in the first in the first case, I would say it still have something to say, but not dominant. And the whole relation between these two is harmonious according to Plato. So every part have his role to play, like the reason is leading. So the two horses obeying, something like that. And the second one is, so maybe the reason's part is less, not leading anymore, maybe, and so on and so forth. But we are not we are not told explicitly. So then the how to say that what those two kinds have in common. The second is
he considers the madness of love, something, maybe it's something gift from the gods, I don't know.
Basically, they are both in divine madness, you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
And the second, I think, according to our part, it could be they both sex both involved, right, in both parts. Both parts. And friendship, and so on and so forth. Questions? Comments?
I have a question. Last time, Kaji, you said how much you believe these worldviews, whether we have souls and whether the soul can go to heaven by living a philosophical life. But the internet is breakdown. I didn't get your answer.
Okay.
How much extent you believe all these things, you believe all this metaphor about the souls?
This is a very personal question. My answer is like this. I think was like this. I understand Plato's text as a whole, right? So I will try to understand every part of it, and also his mythological worldview, and also try to figure out those and the relationship between this mythological worldview and his philosophy. And that's the second. And the third is Plato does not only say something here about the gods, but also in other books. Basically, especially in Timaeus, which book I wrote my thesis, thesis. So he himself is also already in a transition. Like his Zeus in this Phaedrus is very different to the traditional Zeus, because he says Zeus is good and if this is both horses are good, that's totally untrue for the Greeks, you know. So his Zeus is already different and philosophical, and so I think what really make the most interesting for me is how Plato inquire. He would just want to understand the stuff and to inquire and. Even the matters of the gods, say, basically, which means I will understand his text I try to understand even the other people in Greek times and the historical background and also the religious at that time. And I will try to wear their shoes. But in the end, whether I believe in Zeus, that's another question, right? And then it's like no mention of the special Platonic Zeus, right? So I cannot imagine Zeus is only someone who just driving his charioteer chariot every day. As he kind of like Zeus is just a driving charioteer and chariot and like the stars like circling on the heaven. I think that's his understanding of the gods, basically. So and so on and so forth. This is has no question and very, very huge, and especially the Plato's theology, it's very, very long, and it's a huge subject. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I think, thank you, Keji, for your answer. For me, the worldview now here, we are living in a scientific worldview, maybe normally scientific. And maybe some of us believe in Christian gods, or believe in Buddhism, or believe in other tradition. So this different tradition have different theology images about the world. And the Greek, the Greek times which Plato lives, is a polytheistic. There are many gods. Zeus, only one of the big gods. So for me, I think when I read the text, when I learn the text from Plato, I sometimes connect the text with his backgrounds, with the polytheistic background that Plato suited. And also, for me, I believe in soul. I believe in something like after we die, we have something still there, still exists. Maybe that's soul. So I have this idea in my mind. So I have some connection with these wings, with after death, the soul has wings, the wings sprout. So I think I like that one, that metaphor.
And it's also important, Heidi. In fact, I even think because The only difference from Lysias' speech and Plato's speech is divine, right? It's the divine madness that saves Plato's or the approach. So if there's no God, or like Nietzsche says, if the God is dead, and then Plato's argument as a whole cannot hold, it will collapse. Just as simple as that. And I think that's also what happened. You were not here, Heidi, because this book lasted so long. So I start some questions. I'd like, what's your attitude towards a one-night stand? You know, Heidi, what's one-night stand, and so on and so forth, which is nowadays so popular, I think, in China and in Germany. And no committed love, and also, in fact, just sex, basically, or pleasure without other stuff, or of course without philosophy, that's for sure, but and so on and so forth. So this question itself is at stake for everyone, and Plato's answer is so beautiful, but it presupposes the existence of God or gods. That's really, or divine madness, right? Without this divine madness, the whole book will collapse. Just basically, like, so I think your question is important. Shall we go on?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, there is another speech. These are the rewards you will have from a lover's friendship, my boy, and they are as great as divine gift should be. A non-lover's companionship, on the other hand, is diluted by human self-control. All it pays are cheap human dividends, and though the slavish attitude it engenders in the friend's soul is widely praised as virtue, it tosses the soul around for 9,000 years on the earth and leads it mindless beneath it. So a non-lover's companionship there, that's what Lysias talked about, yeah. Yeah. Is diluted, yeah. So it's
only part of it, right? It's a very, very weak like copy of it. See, and it's just, then here we have 3 thoughts, right? That's the last thought. Sorry, I need to go to the toilet, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which time is it in China at the moment?
It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yeah, okay. We are in the afternoon, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, because there are sometimes participants from China and from Canada or US. So, yeah, it's
Lyria,
difficult, but it's possible, yeah.
Yeah. Where were you born?
Yeah, we are. I was born in Germany and I live in Dresden since 20 years. But yeah, and so I'm just from Germany, and yeah, we met in the choir. We sing in the choir. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. I love music. Yeah, I just thought it might be interesting to participate in this because, yeah, but my life is a bit centered on music.
You're
Otherwise,
musician.
no, I'm not a professional musician, but yeah, amateur musician. Yes.
What kind of musical instruments you are playing?
Yeah,
or
I
you're just
play
singing?
cello. I play cello and piano, and yeah, singing is also very important. Yeah,
And also cello.
yeah, the cello is also important. Yes.
What is cello?
Yeah, violoncello, or yeah, like a violin but bigger.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you are in
Cello.
this kind of position when playing the cello,
Oh,
like a
cello,
big.
大提琴. cello.
Yeah, it's not a bass, it's a violoncello. Yeah. Yeah.
大提琴.
Yeah.
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 Very
So
good.
we'll
Very
continue.
Yeah, I think now
So we were, so now, dear love, this is the best and most beautiful palinode we could offer as payment for our debt, especially in view of the rather poetical choice of words Phaedrus made me use. Forgive us our earlier speeches in return for this one. Be kind and gracious toward my expertise at love, which is your own gift to me. Do not, out of anger, take it away or disable it, and grant that I may be held in higher esteem than ever by those who are beautiful. If Phaedrus and I said anything that shocked you in our earlier speech, blame it on Lysias, who was its father, and put a stop to his making speeches of this sort. Convert him to philosophy like his brother Polemarchus, so that his lover may no longer play both sides as he does now, but simply devote his life to love through philosophical discussions. Oh, he talks about other sophists, or I don't know, or other speech. Are we already in this part when it comes to rhetoric, or will be? Yeah,
exactly after.
Yeah, exactly after. Yeah. Yeah.
Any comments, questions about this part?
Yeah, I don't know how Schleiermacher translated this palinode. I don't remember what it is.
Also, another German translation I read, it's up it, but I think that's kind of like anti-countable or something like that. No, sorry. So Heidi, a little bit explain a little bit this palinode, because this didn't translate it. It's use the Greek word. So odd, right? Odd, we only know like odd of joy, right? So it's odd means just a song or hymn. But palin is like like the anti or how's that? Back or something like that, which means the songs which has the exact opposite meaning as the other one. So it's basically like that. So palinode means.
It's a kind of form of speech, or I don't know, or is it? Yeah.
And then in fact, this is the conclusion part of Socrates' speech. It's emotionally very well, but I think for philosophically, it's not so much to talk about, but then we have really the feeling, okay, after this, the speech is over, right? It's conclusion, and not only the content, but also the emotion of the listeners think, okay, now it's just that tonica is reached.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, boom.
The basic tone. So maybe we continue with the next. Oh, Phaedrus, I join you in your prayers, Socrates. If this is really best for us, may it come to pass. As to your speech, I admired it from the moment you began. You managed it much better than your first one. I'm afraid that Lysias' effort to match it is bound to fall flat. If, of course, he even dares to try to offer a speech of his own. In fact, my marvelous friend, a politician I know, was only recently taking Lysias to task for just that reason. all through his invective, he kept calling him a speech writer. So perhaps his pride will keep him from writing this speech for us. So he.
Would you like to read Socrates' part so you two can have a dialogue?
I have a question with the last paragraph.
Oh, please.
Which there is a sentence that says, and though the slavish attitude it engenders in a friend's soul is widely praised as virtue. I didn't understand this sentence. It says the slavish attitude is widely praised as virtue. So what is this slavish attitude means, and why it's widely praised as virtue? Can you explain this sentence?
Yeah, we're talking about the non-lovers companionship that doesn't
Yes,
pay,
non-lovers
but slavish.
companionship.
Is it meant like a slave? I don't know this adjective, but I think it's about. Is it a? It's talking. I don't know. Is it a adjective to slave or not? I'm not sure because I don't know this word in English, but I thought about slave, but I'm not sure if it is meant or.
There's another passage in the symposium which can maybe answer this part. But I think it's like this. If we are in love, right? And then we can be in front of other people, and we wrote this love letters in a crazy way, and put us so low and the others so high, and then Plato even said sometimes the lover would sleep in front of the beloved's room and under the how to say that the be in front of the door and the street for the whole night, and this guy, this lover himself is maybe a very, very esteemed person, like I don't know. So if he usually do that and like just drunk and say something very, very slavish, say, and other people will laugh at him. But if the other people know, oh, this guy is in love, so everybody can understand that and even praise that. Wow, this guy is so deeply in love. He loves that his beloved so much. And so those kind of slavish behaviors Plato might mean, but I'm also not 100% sure. Is that a little bit plausible, Heidi, for you?
Yes, thank you for your explanation. Yeah.
It just means like we also do something in front of our lovers or beloved, and we don't do like say in a choir hall, right?
Yeah.
Which could be slavish in the other cases, but in love, so that's just seems okay. It's even regarded as virtue.
So this dialogue between Phaedrus and Socrates. So the previous chapter is closed, right? It's ended. We are going to this dialogue between Phaedrus and Socrates.
I think now you are talking about the structure of this dialogue as a whole.
Yes, yes. It's the structure of the whole text. It changed the structure.
I can share a little bit my screen and show you something. I made a mind map here. You can see it's a little small. So first we have the settings of the dialogue where it happened. and then Lysias' speech, and then we have a little bit short transition, and then come to Socrates' first speech, and then second speech, which is palinode, yeah, and then the whole part here maybe is about Eros. There's four together, and 5 together, and then now we come to the other major part. It's about rhetoric. So in fact, rhetoric can further divide into 3 parts. Maybe first rhetoric, general, and the second is about dialectic, and the second part is written tradition. So then this is the basic structure of this book. And now we just finished palinode and
finished
transition.
palinode.
Yes, transition into rhetoric part. Yeah.
It's very clear. Thank you.
Sure. And now I think you can begin your dialogue, you two. And Heidi, you are Socrates, and
I'm Phaedrus.
Yeah. Or you can also change. If Heidi, you find Socrates' part too long, you can change with with Claire.
Because I'm not very familiar with this text, I didn't read it very fluently, so it's hard for me to catch up with the structure, with the text. I just digest very slow.
Same for me.
Same for everyone.
Yeah, same for everyone. Yeah.
How many times did Kaji read this Phaedrus, this book?
You read it more times than everyone here, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You studied it really, I think, and yeah. Yeah.
For example, this week, maybe I would say 4 hours concentrated. And in general, I don't know. So I it's definitely not the first time I read this book, right? So, and also it's related to other books of Plato, and in fact the philosophy in a whole. So I don't know how to answer your question, but I think for me, even today, maybe 3 hours. This week 3 hours concentratedly, or a little bit, yeah, okay. Something like that.
So, of course, more than I think more than myself, of course, and maybe more than yeah,
more than I expected.
Yeah, that's more than I expect. Yeah, same for me. Yeah, 3 hours.
Why Plato attracted you so much, Kaji? And you spend so many times and energy in reading this old text, and maybe not only English but also the Greek version,
Chinese and German.
Chinese version. Yeah, German version. Why Plato attracted you so much? Why not Heidegger? Why not other philosophers?
I don't know. It's just fate. You don't know, right? And I think first he's really important. He's beautiful. And second, I think if you ask Heidegger, those people, especially Heidegger, especially would say Greek philosophy speaks Greek. And then German, because he thinks German is the most close to the ancient Greek, and other languages are just like verdorben, how to say that? Just he's very extreme. So but I don't agree with him, but still I also really love Plato. That's just love, right? Can't explain. Yeah. So Heidi, it's your turn. You know, Socrates part, you can read it aloud. Will you do it? Or you do, if not, I can read it too.
From the Phaedrus dialogue, right?
Yes, and Socrates part, right? D, you know, there's
Okay,
I think
Socrates.
yeah.
Okay.
You are Socrates now?
Oh, so I play the role of Socrates.
Yeah, exactly.
Who played Phaedrus?
The Claire, you can also change if you like.
Okay. Ah, what a foolish thing to say, young man. How wrong you are about your friend. He can't be intimidated so easily. But perhaps you thought the man who was taking him to task meant what he said as a reproach? Phaedrus. He certainly seemed to.
Yeah. Now it's Claire's part.
Okay.
He certainly seemed to, Socrates. In any case, you are surely aware yourself that the most powerful and renowned politicians are ashamed to compose speeches or leave any writings behind. They are afraid that in later times they may come to be known as sophists.
Sophists. Phaedrus, you don't understand the expression pleasant plaint. It originally referred to the long bend of the Nile. And besides the bend, you also don't understand that the most ambitious politicians love speech writing and long for their writings to survive. In fact, when they write one of their speeches, they are so pleased when people praise it that they add at the beginning a list of its admirers everywhere.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Don't you know that the first thing politicians put in their writing is the names of their admirers?
How so?
I think now we can have a short little break, otherwise to become too long. Any questions about this passage?
So this is the beginning of the rhetoric. What are they talking about? I didn't understand.
Okay, so maybe then I will give a little bit the introduction to this subject. Rhetoric is one of the Plato's central theme in his whole career theme. What rhetoric means is just public speeches, Heidi.
Public speech, okay.
Yes, which may be a little bit like foreign for us because we don't live in a democratic society. So we don't get really so deeply involved in those traditions. And in say in Germany, it's a little bit less, but in the US, you can feel wow, the public speeches and how to get support just by speaking something in front of a lot of people, a lot of audience, is so important. And Plato himself also lived in a democratic society, and which is a declining democratic society who was defeated by the Spartans. So he reflected a lot about why they lost the war against the Spartans. And one of the reasons he just think it's the rhetorician. Just some people get onto the stage and say blah, 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 this and that. And then the people just followed him, or that he just, the people just like those stuff, flattery. They just want to hear what they want to hear. And then in the end, yeah, in the end, the society collapsed.
Oh.
Yes. And so Plato was thinking of this subject very deeply and everywhere. Like here, it's another basic book about the relationship between like the rhetorician or politician one side and the people other side, and what is a good speech. And he uses speech also in a very broad sense. So later we can say even how to write a book, or how to write a poet or something like that, or even a theater piece like a play, and so on and so forth. So here in the narrow sense, it's about the political public speech, and the dark side of it. And in the broad sense, it's how to speak in general, how to write an article in general, which subject, which necessary condition does a good speech has, and then which kind of structure does it need to have, and so on and so forth. Basically, that's why that's the background of this part. But here, we can just feel a very, very, very strange turn from the subject eros to rhetoric, and which is the subject of the academical dispute since like thousands of years. Why it's like this, and is that a unified book, or is Plato gone crazy here? So it's a dispute. But anyway, it's a very dramatic or something, a strange turn here. So it's just need later we will talk about this specific subject, also question. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for the question. I hope what I said make a little bit sense. And if you have further questions, please just ask.
So in China, we don't have the tradition of this public speech. I think in China, the party, the chairman Xi, the public speech basically is not the same like the public speech of like a United States president, right? It's different style, a different logic.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So basically, just like those kind of public speeches are important, very important in democratic society, and basically, as I said, because we are still not so democratic, and this one was no, and we have never been. Right, even in the ancient times, China was never really democratic. So democracy was like some invention of some a kind of Greek invention. So Plato lived in a democratic society and just experienced those stuff, and it becomes his central concern. So maybe for Haili, it's just a little bit, still a little bit far from your central concern, I would say.
Yeah, unfamiliar for us.
But for Claire, I think she understands this at once, right?
Yeah, hope so, but yeah, okay. Yeah.
And so now you can say the role of Lysis. Now we get to know he's not only a very good public speaker, but he is a speech writer for the president. So 御用为人海力 basically. And for Plato, and he will ask the nature of this kind of work. So basically, we can imagine Lysis wrote wrote a speech which does not need to 100% align with his conviction or his belief. It's then maybe what the president told him, the first, and the second, they will do a lot of public survey. So, how much people support like LGBTQ policies, how many people support to green policies, how many people like support economic reform, and so on and so forth. And then we will write a speech exactly according to what the boss told him, the first and the second, what the people want to hear, and find those and that beautiful words to cover as many people as possible. And he will also know the public psychology. So which sentence started in which way will well received by which kind of people, and not so well received by other, and then they were made choices, and so on and so forth. So basically, then he's kind of like only a tool of this politician was president who told him to write. So basically, then here the boss calls him a speechwriter, which is really the case, but he does not like it. Because he feels like a reproach. And then now the discussion is how politicians generally feel or think about speech writing or public speeches. Basically, now the question becomes like this suddenly from Eros to this one, right? Very, very sudden.
But in Anglo-Saxon countries, they have also this tradition of rhetoric, like a sportive contest. Yeah. So you are you are given a subject and you have to speak pro or contra, and this is just by chance, and so it's like a sport. I think also sometimes. And we don't have this tradition so much in Germany to use rhetoric, but maybe sometimes it comes from America or from England. There are some groups in university that have this kind of contest, rhetorical contest. Yeah.
And that's rhetoric has also different meanings, and then now you're using it in the very
as a
narrow. But in Greek, it just means public speech or oration. So I think even in Germany nowadays, most of the like in the Bundestag or everywhere, right? It's people go to one like this port, right? And say something, and then other people either or applause, and then another party comes and so on and so forth. So basically, also this form. But what you mean is, I also agree. In Germany, the public debate used to be or is still less emotional than in the Anglo-Saxon tradition.
Maybe,
That's maybe what you mean.
It depends because in the
so
it depends also to media that people get information from. So sometimes it's also very but maybe it was not so emotional before it's changing, I think, but I don't know.
In China, I think it's the opposite. In the public speech, especially political public speech, it's basically emotional. It's the style is just like a parent speaking to children. Like
okay.
I love you. You're protected. You're safe, and something like this. Mostly.
And then he basically falls asleep, right? It's So it's long and monotonous.
Okay.
Very different.
Okay. Yeah, that's different. So what do you mean? I don't understand. Yeah.
So now basically then talk about the attitude towards speech writing or sophistry or oration, rhetoric. It's I don't understand. And then I think Socrates gives the first explanation, or how so? I think we are at how so is how so. Yes.
Yeah.
Then it's Socrates' role, right? Ali?
Yes.
So yeah, will you read or should we change?
Ali, it's a very good offer. Claire wants to ask you, would you like to change? Then she will read Socrates and you Phaedrus.
Okay.
So
I begin play Phaedrus, beginning from how so, right?
Yeah, how so, yes.
How
and I
so?
say resolved. The author often begins by the council or by the people or by both, and so said, meaning himself, the writer with great solemnity and self-importance. Yeah. Only then does he go on what he has to say, showing off his wisdom to his admirers, often composing a very long document. Do you think there's any difference between that and a written speech?
No, I don't.
Well, then, if it remains on the books, he is delighted and leaves the stage a poet. But if it is struck down, if he fails as a speech writer and isn't considered worthy of having his work written down, he goes into deep mourning and his friends along with him.
He certainly does.
Clearly, then, they don't feel contempt for speech writing. On the contrary, they are in awe of it. But they need it, or yeah. So,
Why so?
There's this too. What of an orator or a king who acquires enough power to match Lycurgus, Solon, or Darius as a lawgiver and acquires immortal fame as a speechwriter in his city? Doesn't he think that he's equal to the gods while he's still alive? And don't those who live in later time believe just the same about him when they behold his writings?
Very much so. So we end here. I digest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can help you a little bit, Hailey, maybe just 2 or 3 sentences. Has just 太上立言 you no 其次立言对吧？立言，
立德
which
立
mean
言，对，
对，which means the speech is kind of like very similar situation. So what for example 258 A, we just where we started is just like 多少多少大，经过谁谁谁，然后这个总书记重要讲话的如此这样开始，对吧？就像习近平谈治国理政。Also, I just mentioned some like Chinese tradition, also the politicians are for them so important. Like their speeches published. And, it's unbelievable. So here I think is basically they discuss this phenomenon. Written works of politician and their legitimacy, also Legitimacy. I don't know. Yeah.
Legacy.
Legacy, I
Yeah,
think
legacy.
yeah.
There. So very much so.
So any questions until now, after the digestion? And also
so we can continue maybe. So we were with very much so, I think. So we continue. I continue. Do you really believe then that any of these people, whoever he is and however much he hates Lysias, would reproach him for being a writer?
It certainly isn't likely in view of what you said, for he would probably be reproaching his own ambition as well.
This, then, is quite clear. Writing speeches is not in itself a shameful thing.
How could it be?
It's not speaking or writing well that's shameful. What's really shameful is to engage in either of them shamefully or badly.
That is clear.
So what distinguishes good from bad writing? Do we need to ask this question of Lysias or anyone else who ever did or will write anything? Whether a public or a private document, poetic verse or plain prose?
okay, so I think here we can start to stop for a while.
Okay.
It's very important here.
Engage shamefully or badly. So, yeah. So sport is not shameful at all if you do it as a sport, but if you do it for manipulation, or I don't know, if you do it for supporting a bad thing, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And we talked a little bit about before, as we talk about the Lysias speech and Socrates' first speech, and compare the two, and Socrates' first speech defines the central concept, which is love. Whether it's good or not, that's another question. So before you go into discussion, you have a definition. Here we are discussion speeches. So then Plato define and also listed the central question of the second part of this book, which is this question: what distinguishes good from bad writing? So that's basically the central question of this. And here means writing. He further explains, okay, writing is very broad. So it can be something write down or speak of. It could be something public or in private document. It can be poetic verse or plain prose. And later on, he also say it can be about gods and also about man. So basically, it's kind of like everything, something with words, or it's just a huge subject he hears he's want to address. And that's the second part of this question. The third part is he want to find out the distinction between good articles or good writings from the bad ones. So, and why?
Yeah. Okay. All through one live. Yeah.
Any questions from now?
So public writing and public speaking is important, and it's a very big topic, and need to spend time to deeply explain what is good and what is bad writing
Exactly.
in Socrates. Yes.
And so basically he's saying Lysias is a bad. Not all the writers are bad, but Lysias himself is bad, right?
Lysias. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the author of the first speech in this book?
So does it come, or yeah, it did. Yeah, he did it while having his own first speech, or so that was his kind of criticizing Lysias, I think.
Yeah.
His first, because
Mm.
or
Second speech,
yeah,
in fact.
second speech, yeah.
Yeah, and the second one also, the first speech, Socrates' first speech, you say, I will write an article about the same thesis,
Yeah.
same subject, but I will write it better than you.
Better, yeah.
And the second one is, I don't even agree with your subject. It's basically like this.
Okay. Okay, we still are at 259. They are long, the verses, yeah, because you said we could reach maybe to 265, but it's yeah, we
That's a
have
goal.
yeah.
But I'm thinking, because now, for me at least, from the rhetorical part onward, it's not so dense anymore.
Yeah.
Just like rather like the dialogue, right? So I thought we could
Be
yeah
more
quick, but we don't have any agenda, so
yeah.
make it easy.
Yeah.
Any questions, Heidi, from your side?
So what is the Lysias speech? What did Lysias talk about? What's the style of his public speech? I'm searching this.
Oh, it's just in this. I think you already read the whole Phaedrus in Chinese, right? Or no?
Not to read the whole text in Chinese.
Okay, so maybe this is your homework, Heidi.
Okay.
I send the both Chinese and English text to you. You can read it in Chinese and for the whole book, because the structure of this book is so amazing and so confusing. And then that's shortly after the setting, then it's the first speech. We also discussed about that, something like maybe the most popular article at that time in Athens. That's one explanation. Or Plato just invented it. That could also be as a demonstration of bad writing. Yeah. So you can read it in Chinese and then try to understand basically it's just with a lot of beautiful words, but unstructured and unstructured, and also with a very, very bad subject, or message, and like maybe some pop song text in today's world, maybe. Like you cannot imagine why those songs can sell millions or millions examples, right? Just basically that way. But in any case, this is only my explanation. The best way is you just read it, just eat the apple, so you will know how it is. It is, yeah.
I should reread it too because I haven't. Because I have.
Maybe you can find another better, like German translation, a little bit modern. Like
Yeah.
I heard the Upheard, one guy's translation is good. There's a question.
It all again talks about pleasure of slaves in the next.
Yeah. Shall we go on a little bit, or just we can stop here? What do you think?
We can stop here.
Okay.
We have learned a lot of text.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
for the writers, they write books in different subjects. It is also related with the public writing with,
Yeah.
with the topic here, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's very broad. Plato, the problem Plato want to address in the narrow sense, it's political public speech. In the broad sense, it's everything.
In Chinese, there is a word 文采, but it's not totally correspondent with the rhetoric here, right?
No.
Totally different.
No.
Totally different with the different backgrounds.
Yeah.
For example, if we say 这个谁很有文采 is very poetic. Some writer is very poetic and write very beautiful words, sentences. And the text can last for thousands of years. 比如说我们学那个诸葛亮什么书，这种经典的表达，经典文本。再比如说孟子、论语。
Yes, and I think what Haili here, the word sense just like the color, literally, it's kind of like the color of the language. And so in a good sense, maybe we can translate it something in literary quality or something like that. And so that's in the extreme form, as Heidi mentioned, is poetic quality. And Plato also mentioned here, like especially in his second speech, which is palinode, it's really very beautiful written. And but it's not the only stuff here, because Plato also addressed. I can do a little bit maybe for you for your further reading important. The first for Plato is what you have written, what's the relationship between the stuff you've written and the truth. So this one usually not so emphasized in Chinese tradition. And so the seek after truth is usually not so important as for the Greeks. And the second is then the nature. This is called the nature of the subject, maybe. So the truth is the nature of subject. And the second one is the structure. So then if you want to, like, if you want to study madness, say, then you have the usual madness, which is really like schizophrenia or something like that. And also divine madness, how much divine madness we have. So that's like for the how to say that, for different kinds of divine madness. One of them is eros, right? And so on and so forth. So they have a structure, or Plato would say system, like Lysias' problems unsystematic. So he wants to address a subject only in the connection with truth or knowledge, and the second is systematically, and the third is the language it use should be a beautiful language or should be a proper language. That's also highly just mentioned. So and so on and so forth. So basically, the discussion will become huge. Basically, yeah, how to what's the nature of a good speech, or what's the nature of a good writing? Yeah, logos, or logoi. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for your explanation, comparison.
Yeah. So see you next week, Eddie.
Okay. See you. I will prepare more about the text.
I hope you will enjoy it. The first stuff is Eddie.
Yes, I like the metaphor, the wing metaphor.
Okay,
The
so
wing
may
is
your
like an angel, right? The angel has wings. Actually,
yeah
it says everyone is an angel. You forget the heaven, and after that, he will go back to the heaven and grow up the wings.
yeah
It's like a metaphor like this.
yeah. May your wings grow high.
May our wings will grow before death.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
See
Okay,
you.
see you. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.